Hello there and welcome to another live chapter reading for Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Today I shall be reading from Hell in a Handbasket, Life is Hell, Book 3 by Naomi Valkyrie. Chapter 1. Orin. Frustrated, I close the website I've been searching. It's difficult for me to get accurate information on demon hunters when there's so much false information floating around out there. Every time I think I've learnt something of substance, Teavel tells me it's crap, created by Hollywood. Of course, being the ass he is, he never bothers to give me any accurate information. I'd say it's part of his demon nature. But the other demons I know aren't so bad. Speaking of other demons, I usually have to go to Delilah or Sheridan for clarity, but even they don't know everything. Delilah being a lust and vengeance demon, and Sheridan being the hedonism demon, they can only tell me so much. The different factions of demons each have their own quirks and culture. Teavel is the one I really need information from, because his speciality is tracking. He knows more. He has to in order to protect himself when he's hunting down various demons and monsters. I've tried to be friendly to Teavel, hoping he'd warm up to me so I can learn more about my heritage, but it's slow going. He's also hot as fuck, but that's got nothing to do with it. At all. Scrubbing a hand down my face, I try to think of new search terms that might give me better results. When nothing comes to me, I grab my coffee mug to go top it off and notice that all my coffee is gone. Damn it, Millicent, did Larkspur stow away in your coat pocket again? My fellow deputy looks up from her monitor. I didn't think so. Why? I had at least half a mug of coffee left and now it's gone. Orin, just because you don't remember drinking the last of your coffee doesn't mean Larkspur did it. I gave her a sceptical look. 9 times out of 10 it's that damn pixie and you know it. He's a menace. Millicent rolls her eyes. He's mischievous and bored and it's a heady combination. Larkspur, I know you're here. Show yourself. Orin, you're making an ass out of yourself. I told you he's not here. A mischievous giggle fills the room. I knew it, Millicent shrugs. I checked all my pockets, my purse and my gun belt before I left the house. He must have found a way past my search. Maybe we should put a bell on him. Somehow I doubt that would do much good, Millicent sighs. I keep threatening to feed him to Jasper, but even that doesn't seem to help. That's because he knows you'd never actually follow through. Besides, he'd probably give that hellhound indigestion. Standing up, I take my empty coffee mug to the break room and fill it. Then walk back to my desk. Stay away from this one, Larkspur, I call out into the room. The pixie's still hiding, and if he knows what's good for him, he'll stay hidden. Damn coffee thief. I set my coffee mug closer to the monitor so I can keep an eye on it. Honestly, some people have dogs and cats to worry about getting into things. We've got the addition of a pixie. Lucky us, shaking my head, I type in some new search criteria and resume my browsing, thankful that the small town of Juniper Lake is quite enough that I can research while I'm on duty. As I'm heading into my 3rd hour of fruitless internet browsing, Malachi arrives to relieve me. Morning, Sheriff, I say, glancing up briefly. Morning. Anything I need to know about? Other than the fact that Larkspur is lurking around making mischief, no. Oh, for crying out loud, Millicent, Malachi says. Hey, I did my due diligence. He's just sneaky. Standing up, I walk over and take my coat off of the rack and slip into it, then put my hat on. Well, have fun with that, I say as I pat Malachi on the shoulder on my way out. You're going to hell, you know that, right? Malachi calls after me before the door closes. Chuckling to myself, I walk over to my truck, get in and start it up. After setting my hat on the seat beside me, I back out of the parking spot and head towards my cabin. By the time I get to my place, I'm ready to face plant into my pillow. Even with the coffee, I'm still tired after working the night shift. Exiting my truck, I walk to my front door and unlock it, but before I open it, I pause. Something feels off. I don't know what, but something feels different. Slipping my sidearm out of the holster with one hand, I turn the doorknob with the other, then use my foot to push it open. Nothing. Keeping my back to the door, I face my living room, but everything looks to be in order. After clearing the downstairs of my cabin, I start up the stairs to the loft where I sleep. The loft is about half the size of the downstairs area, with just enough room for my bed, dresser, a couple of nightstands and a small closet with sliding doors. I can see the entire area from the top of the stairs. Nothing. That leaves the closet. Walking slowly over to the closet, I slide one side open and look inside. Not one thing is out of place. Lowering my gun, I steer it on my dresser while I go back down to close the front door. I must be overreacting because I'm exhausted. And as my fingers turn the lock, I feel a presence behind me, and then a cool blade rests on my throat. Always listen to your instincts, Hunter. I could have killed you a dozen times by now. The blade leaves my throat and I turn around. Teavel, you bastard, what the fuck are you doing here? Testing your reflexes. You've got the inherent talents of your lineage. You just lack the training to hone them. Way to rub it in. Instead of a surprise visit, how about you tell me how to find another hunter to train me? To my knowledge, there are few trained hunters left, and the ones who are around keep their hunter status hidden. Teavel hesitates and says, I could train you to fight demons, but it wouldn't be the traditional hunter way. I'm speechless for a few seconds. Most of the time Teavel is a first-class jackass, but then he has these moments where he seems like he actually gives a shit. It makes me wonder whether the jackass attitude is a front. Okay, I guess I have a few alternatives. Don't get too excited about it now, Teavel mutters. If I didn't know better, I'd think he was genuinely upset about my lack of overt enthusiasm. It's not that I don't appreciate his offer, more like I don't know if I'll be able to tolerate his attitude. We can start this afternoon after I get a nap. I'm beat. I trust you can find the way out, I say as I head up to the stairs to my loft without waiting for a response. Chapter 2. Teavel. I watch Orin walk up the stairs to his loft, trying to figure out why I offered to train him. What is it about him that keeps me coming back to Juniper Lake? I haven't given a shit about much for a very long time, not since Nakane was murdered. His death turned me so bitter that I pushed Malachi right out of my life too, blaming him for the whole thing. I know it wasn't really Malachi's fault. He did everything he could to protect Nakane, but in the end that didn't matter. I needed someone to take my anger out on, and Malachi was a convenient target. Until a few months ago I'd avoided Malachi, but when he called me to help him take out some witches that had trapped his girlfriend Delilah, I couldn't resist. Witches were the root cause of Nakane's death, and I take every opportunity to exact revenge that I can. I hadn't planned to come back to Juniper Lake, but Orin caught my attention. Even though I'd never admit it, I keep helping around this podunk town just so I can be near him. Pathetic. I catch a flash of skin as Orin takes off his shirt. Maybe it's just a physical attraction I feel. The idea of a demon bedding a demon hunter. Yeah, that's probably it. Before I let myself analyse it any further, I pop out, leaving Orin to get some sleep. Service, sir? The young man kneeling naked in front of me asks. Normally I would eagerly take him up on the offer, using the way he likes me to, but not right now. Now I need to think about where I should start Orin's hunter training. The thought of him having so much potential but essentially defenceless because of lack of training doesn't sit well. He's been introduced to a world full of dangerous things and has no idea how to defend himself against most of them. A surge of anger threads through me as I think about how Orin's family left him ignorant about his heritage. Not now, Jaru. The imp glances up at me briefly, then lowers his eyes. Have I angered you, sir? What? No, why'd you ask? You use my given name, sir. I'm tired and have a lot on my mind, Jaru. You may go. Jaru looks hurt by my dismissal, walking away with his tail dragging the floor, but leaves me to my thoughts. Pouring myself some whiskey, I sit down on my bed and flip on the TV for some background noise. Just as I'm getting settled in to give things a good think, someone pounds on my front door. Jaru answers it, and a minute later comes into my room. There's someone at the door looking to hire a tracking demon, sir. Down in the whiskey, I get off the bed and head toward the front door, pausing to give Jaru a kiss on his head for reassurance after my earlier dismissal. As per standing instruction, Jaru has left the visitor waiting outside of the door. I don't let people into my apartments until I've gotten a feel for what they're about. The guy standing just outside the door looks out of place with this neighbourhood. I might be swimming in money, but I don't advertise it. I'm more comfortable in a run-down apartment building than a flashy penthouse or mansion. This guy clearly doesn't care who knows he has money. He probably has some kind of fancy car with the driver waiting for him downstairs. What do you want? I ask, already knowing he's here to hire me. The man shows no reaction to my abruptness. I'm looking for a tracker demon to find a dragon, and I'll pay whatever fee you require. You can't be serious. Dragons are extinct. Stop wasting my time. I start to close the door in his face, but he puts his foot in a way to stop it. I've heard rumours of one, and I want to confirm them. I pull the door back open and look at the guy again, then shrug. If that's how you want to spend your money, I'll take it, but when the search comes up empty, remember there are no refunds. If this idiot wants to pour thousands of dollars down the drain, who am I to stop him? The man hands me a card with a phone number on it and nothing else. You can contact me on that number to keep me up to date on your progress. I require a $10,000 deposit. The man pulls out his phone. Excuse me while I set up the transfer. Leaving the door open so I can monitor him, I go over to the coffee table, grab a cigar and light it. If you would give them the account number, the money will be wired as soon as possible, the man says, holding his phone out to me. After giving the account number, I hand the phone back. Once I confirm the deposit is cleared, I'll be in touch. When I call, who should I ask for? Just ask for Ravenshire, the man says, pocketing his phone. I look forward to hearing from you soon. I watch Ravenshire disappear down the stairs, then close the door. Going back into the living room, I slide my laptop over on the coffee table and sit in one of the mismatched chairs. When the laptop boots up, I do a basic search on the name Ravenshire to see what his front is in the human world. Unfortunately, my search doesn't turn up anything useful, which means it's likely an alias, or the one I met isn't the one running the show. Leaning back in the chair, I rest my head on the back of it and close my eyes while blowing out a puff of cigar smoke. Why would someone want to search for an extinct being? I suppose the most likely reasons are money or power, but since I only have a scrap of information to go on, I can't rule anything out. When I lift my head and open my eyes, I see Jared staring at me from the entrance of the hallway. You're leaving again, aren't you? Most likely. I have no idea where this new job will lead me. Jared nods and silently retreats to his room. A pang of guilt stabs me. I rub my chest, trying to rid myself of the bothersome feeling. Jared has been with me for several years. I know he has developed feelings for me. I should have terminated his contract when I first realised it, but I'm a selfish bastard and kept right on going with the arrangement. This new job will give me an excuse to end the contract. I'll not be around very much while going on this wild goose chase that could take months, and Jaru needs looking after. Pulling my phone out of my back pocket, I dial Soren. Unfortunately, all I get is his voicemail. After leaving a brief message, I hang up and then go searching up the internet for a place for Jared to live until he gets a new contract. It doesn't take long to secure an apartment. Money talks and tends to expedite things. I pop into the new apartment to check it out. It's fully furnished and looks like the fancy price tag it comes with. Giving him a place to stay is the least I can do since I'm breaking a contract with Jaru, and probably his heart. At least he'll be comfortable and safe. I may not be in love with him, but contrary to popular belief, I'm not a complete dick. Walking over to the front door of the apartment, I unlock it and open it a crack to make sure no one is in the hallway before I step out and make my way downstairs to the office to pick up the key. Once I have the key, I head back up to the apartment to make sure it works, then leave it on the table in the dining area. Popping back to my run-down apartment, I quietly open Jaru's bedroom door and watch him sleep for a minute. Like most imps, he's beautiful, delicate facial features, long dark hair and lean muscle. I know he'll be able to get a new contract right away. Stealthily, I pack up the few personal items I know are the most important to him and some clothing, then pop to his new apartment and set the box and suitcase in his new bedroom. Walking over to the bed, I pull back the comforter and top sheet to get it ready, then pop back to my apartment. Going into my room, I shift some things around in my closet and pull out a small black case. Opening it, I take out a vial with a blue smoke-like substance swirling in it. Heading back to Jaru's room, I uncork the vial and hold it under his nose, ensuring that he doesn't wake up while I transport him to the new place. I feel bad doing it this way, but it'll be easier on him to make a clean break. At least that's what I tell myself as I lift Jaru out of bed and pop him into his new bedroom. After getting him tucked in, I leave a note for him on the nightstand, letting him know that my friend Soren will check in on him and help him if he needs anything. I also let him know that I left him money in an account for expenses and that I have paid for the apartment for a full year. That will give him time to find a new contract. that's right for him and not settle for just anything that comes along. Finally, I let him know I won't be at the old apartment anymore and he shouldn't come looking for me. Taking one last look at Jaru, I pop back to my apartment and pack up anything else that's important to me. It doesn't take long since most everything I have can be replaced. The only things I really need are my tracking gear, clothes, phone's laptop, and a box containing mementos of Nakane. I take a sweep through the apartment one last time, then making 3 quick trips to Juniper Lake, I have it all moved to the porch of my new home base. Knocking on the door, I wait impatiently for someone to answer it. I suppose I could have popped in, but I at least want to cushion the blow a bit so Delilah doesn't kill me in my sleep. Finally, Delilah swings the front door open. Teavel, what are you doing here? Moving in. I'll take the attic room, I say, handing her one of my boxes. I'm sorry, I must be hearing things. I could swear you just said you're moving in. You heard correctly. I can't move in with Malachi. That's a murder waiting to happen. What makes you think I won't murder you for assuming my house is open for boarders? Have I or have I not done this ragtag group of misfits in Juniper Lake favours over the past few months? Shit, I'm calling in a marker. Glaring at me, Delilah moves out of the doorway with a sweep of the arm that's not holding the box, she says sarcastically. Be my guest, Your Highness. Don't mind if I do, I say with a grin. Bring the rest of that stuff inside, would you? I hear Delilah muttering under her breath as she sets the box she's holding down and goes out onto the porch for the other boxes. While she's busy with that, I pop up to the attic room and lay my laptop back down on a small table in the corner. Checking my phone, I see that the money transfer has gone through from the new client. Pulling a contact card out of my laptop bag, I dial the number Ravenshire left me. It goes to voicemail, so I leave a brief message letting him know that the deposit went through and that I'll be starting the job right away. I don't bother to give him my new location. There's something about him that sets me on edge. I hope you enjoyed the reading and that you'll go check out the book. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.